playing. This is the third session of this game. We have had some changes in the personnel in the Legion, but we gotten some reinforcements here from Ludo, and you also recognize from last time Will, who did a great job not killing our nice rookie Sven, even though his bigger brother didn't show up today. Probably is busy trying to recuperate from last session. And we have with us also Parham, who is the only member who has been with us through the whole game. We ended last time just finishing the mission that we did last time, which was storming a keep with Black Oak Knights, which our crew of Silver Stags and the specialists successfully managed to, well, literally, I guess, assault. There was no subtlety there, and then also secondary we did a supply mission that where we lost some rookies. I think since we have I think actually that I'm gonna to go with the we're gonna start the session with doing back at camp scene. Meanwhile, but before that, I want to ask our Marshal. Do you have an idea of which squad you're putting out?
So our primary mission is a religious mission, right? It's a special mission, is that correct?
It's not a special mission, actually. You can just roll an exceptional asset.
Okay.
But it's a religious mission, yes.
It's a religious mission. It's a shame we couldn't get a special mission. Yeah, so I will take the Star Vipers, who are the group that deals with the weird and supernatural.
Mm-hmm. So probably, Ludo, meanwhile, while we do like a small back at camp scene, you can make a rookie there.
Yeah, I have just populated a squad of 5 rookies for the Star Vipers.
Oh,
We've all been using that name generator. So we have 2 Bartons, 1 Zemyati, and 2 Alrights overall. So like the way that I've done with the rookies is I've just chosen their trait, their starting like racial trait, and I've left them their other 4 dots unassigned for whoever picks them up next, basically. So if you grab hold of a rookie, you know, it's yours to fill in those extra 4 dots, basically.
Cool. Well, we haven't really seen. I think since I am now doing the lore masters duties, lore keepers duties, I'm gonna set a scene, and I think I want. I'm just gonna check I follow the rules now since I am the lore keeper here technically. But I think that I want to have a scene with either I want to have a scene with the Ghost Owls or one. Well, let's have it with the Star Riders actually, because they haven't been on a mission yet, and I think they're a little bummed out about that. It's like been all Silver Stags the last 2 missions, and they've gotten to see nothing of the action. So if I guess we can all grab one of the rookies. You can go first, choosing Ludo. There's not a lot to go by here, but you'll basically be creating something on a blank slate.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Valeria then.
And Parham?
I don't know what characters there are. I guess is there a different? Like, I think the only difference is the traits, right?
I guess you know what would be cool is actually if you play the commander.
Okay.
It would be. I imagine I'm setting the scene like with some of the Star Vipers like coming to the commander's office and complaining that they haven't been chosen for any missions.
Okay. And the commander was Argav? Argav? What's the name?
Yes, I guess because it was the father of.
Oh, the father of Argav. Okay.
I don't know
Okay,
if
great.
I don't know if it has a name other than.
No,
that
I
we know
don't
that-
think we gave him a name.
No.
I just remember that we I think there was a brief discussion of calling him calling the officer Argav senior, sorry, junior, as if, you know, like always under the shadow of his father. But
Sounds
that
like
never
him,
actually
Commander Ragav.
finalized. Ragav, sorry, yes. Thank
Yeah.
you for the
No, that's
name.
fine. But I mean, like this would be the chance to finalize it, right? Like, so he's Commander Ragav, and
Yeah, let's go for it.
yeah, people really patronizingly call his son Junior every now and again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you going to be Ragav then, Commander Ragav Parham,
Yes.
the bold commander of the Legion?
Yeah, and I think his style was more like like less disciplinary, more consorty,
Yeah,
right?
you definitely like portrayed him as
Because
someone
he had
who-
some traits, but
Yeah, you definitely portrayed him as like someone who was more like a nurturing kind of commander than like the disciplinarian. Like wanting people to grow and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that.
Okay,
If
great.
I don't if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and which one are you playing, Will? I think maybe you can go decide in between yourself afterwards, Will and Ludo. But I think one of you is like the main instigator behind this like small rebellion in the Star Riders here.
Yeah, and I think that would be probably would be Valeria, because they gave her the alright trait of noble, so she's probably got slightly more feeling entitlement and authority than I will choose. Let me just check which ones I've chosen. I will choose Makit Manabor, who is a educated Barton.
Cool. So I guess I'm gonna ask you here, Param. How is there? Because you're still in the Western Front now, so there is it's like you're stationed in this like old fort, pretty run down and stuff like that. So what does the office or like the command tent or whatever of the commander look like here? Is it in a tent or is it in like this rundown structure?
I think it's in the run it is in the rundown fort, but he has a tent in like the, what do you call the thing, the really open area, not the yard, but
The
not the
courtyard?
garden. The what?
The courtyard?
Yeah, yeah, and so the like there's like this bustle of people going in and out, and there's, I think he has a group of people that he keeps closer to him. So like quartermaster and the lore master, and we don't really have a spy master, so not that. And what's the other one? Quartermaster,
Marshal?
lore master, and the marshal. Like they have these closed meetings where they just go into the tent and then discuss stuff. But usually, like throughout the day, there is like this bustle of people asking pretty like mundane questions of, oh, where should I put this, and what should I do, and where should I go, and stuff like that. So like there is a lot of like going in, getting an answer, running out, stuff like that.
So as this young alright finds you in your office, what are you currently doing?
I think I'm drawing a plan for the next mission because it's a very important one. So like this is just me trying to carve out some little time to focus and draw. Like okay, like first we go here, then we do that, and then if we're successful, maybe we can advance a bit further to the east. And like I'm doing that and like trying to contain my frustration that I can't get like 5 minutes to to think about this without interruption.
Yeah, and this is like the moment where you two come in. How do you make your entrance? Makita is taking the lead here, right?
No, I would have said it was Valeria who was taking the lead here. I think Makita is being swept up in this noble woman's desire to see the field.
Sorry, is Makita also a woman or?
No, Makita is a man, just because
okay.
I feel way more easy just to play my own voice, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So how does Valeria make? How do you make your entrance into this commander tent?
So Valenia stands outside of the tent in a position in which she stands against one of the fire pits or the torches around, so that her shadow is projected over the officers meeting inside. And she stands there, arms crossed.
I think Makit sort of stands next to her in silence for a few moments and then looks back and forth nervously and goes, Commander Ragav, Miss Zadani and myself, we've come to petition you, sir, for the Star Vipers to take their place on the line, sir.
So, Commander Ragav, I think at this point I like there's a half like a twitch of the eyebrow as I try to contain the emotions of like, there we go again. I thought I've got 5 minutes to myself. And then with like pen and ink, like pen still inked, I look up and then like, oh yes, sure, go ahead. And meaning that I expect this to be short.
So, Zardani, it's your idea, Zardani. Come on, help me out here.
I heard that there was need of volunteers for a special mission, and the boys of the Star Vipers are willing to prove themselves, if you would have it.
Of course. Do you have anyone that you think will be experienced enough to lead this mission, though?
I'm afraid not. We have not had many opportunities to trade ourselves. But we would welcome any people moving from another squad that would be willing to lend us a hand.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. I cannot promise you anything yet, but I really appreciate the fact that you are volunteering yourself. I think this is what the Legion is all about. We are all fighting for a better and bigger cause than ourselves. So it is very noble of you to come forward.
Cool. I think that's perhaps seen. Is there any talk about how this went back in camp, or is there a celebration in the Star Rappers camp because you now get to go on a mission?
I don't know.
I'd love the fact that these people go back, they're kind of not sure if they are getting it, but they're kind of saying that we're going to get it. So
Yeah.
everyone's really, or well, and it was like, well, we're not sure. So just partying anyway.
Yeah, I think we maybe have a small toast to the Legion, to doing our duty, to standing, to holding the line. And then I think for some of us it settles in that, we'll be back on the front, we'll be back in combat, back where we were when the Broken happened and we had to flee. So it's not all smiles, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That is our back at camp scene. I think we'll leave it at that for now, and we can maybe do some more stuff like this if we have time after our mission. So when we have a bit more common fiction to go on, since Ludo is new and we all I guess it's been 2 weeks since last time too, so it's good to get some action to play off. Now the next thing we'll do is we'll move advance from the Western Front to Plainsworth. That leaves you doing a pressure roll for the commander. Should I roll it for you?
I can do it here. I think pressure roll is just 2d6, right?
Yeah, you have 0 pressure right now, so it's 2d6 and you take the best.
Okay, so that is 2. So I'm going to take the lower one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
How?
that gives you 1 pressure.
Out of how many, I think? 12?
I am not sure actually. I think
But
there's no.
there's no limit. There's
I don't
just
think
pressure.
so.
Okay.
It just gives you. It just gives you worse odds at getting a good result in the end, which will make you make it more that more time goes by. So that means that you spend 1 time, so you're at 3 at the clock there now, and you advance to Plainsworth. I'm gonna put our man over here. So I'm just gonna give you the brief on Plainsworth here. Plainsworth was once a small, prosperous town, owing its bustling commerce to a sitting on an intersection of several old Empire roads. Situated in the heart of the Aldermark breadbasket, the bounty of nearby villages flowed through it until it was on the verge of becoming a full-fledged city. And now the hushed towns and shuttered windows of the residents' project has a sense of growing unease. Its inns, streets and alleyways have refugees trying to keep out of sight and families fleeing the Cinder King's advance. The town has a small garrison, its own well and crumbling but serviceable remnant of the old Tanari wall made in the heyday of the Empire, providing a strong defensible position in the west and south. They erected a makeshift fortification where needed and trust the mountains and the Blackwood to help protect against assault from east and north. Yeah, a small provincial village claims was wholesome of the Almani superstition and dislikes for all empire things. The awareness extend to the legion, whose roots are from here. The townsfolk have had problems with bandits and are retreating soldiers, taking what they want by force. So the populace is unsure of if having a small, well-armed force is a blessing or a curse. And yeah, I think probably like the supply mission here is actually like getting some of these bandits in the mountains. That makes more sense. You have all missions are available in this place. So when I rolled, I could have all of them. You got 3 missions: 1 supply, 1 religious, and 1 recon. And you're not doing the recon one, which will give you a penalty of 2 deaths. So prepare for a fun job there, Marshall. But we'll be doing the religious one and the supply one. Yeah, and the
Sorry, the supply one, and what's the other one?
The religious one.
Okay, yeah.
The religious cleansing. It's an expedition to a temple of the twin gods of Aldermark, Matjar and Gerholtz, which is located in the river of Tageria. It's the last known whereabout of the Gerholtz striking spear, but it's now taken by the forces of let's see here, Blighter, who has set up like a workshop here making more of the undead. Yeah, so now that you have chosen which mission to go on, you can use, there's some intel questions I need to find, which we didn't do last time. Just gonna find this real quick. Intel 120. Well, I guess first I'm just gonna find, I need my procedure here. There's so many things to remember. So, because first now is the downtime actions, I guess, where we can do projects. I'm just gonna here, campaign actions, 254. So yeah, we have advanced. We skipping the free play for now. We have some actions. So basically now there's an opportunity for the only one who has campaign actions here is the quartermaster. So if you look at the quartermaster sheet, Ludo, you should be able to see what kind of stuff you can do. So after mission, perform campaign action based on morale. What morale do we have, Marshall?
We have 8 morale, so we're quite high on morale.
So you can do 2 campaign actions.
And just to reiterate, for the benefit of our quartermaster, we have the Silver Stags have some stress. The specialists, only one of them, the medic, has any stress. However, our scout and our sniper are wounded. They took a, I don't know if the healing move would clear them of those wounds. I gotta say, the one thing I can never wrap my head around in Blades in the Dark is the healing, with that whole like erase one line and things like that. Like, I don't know how that will work, but they took a level 2 harm last time, so yeah. I don't know if we could heal that.
Yeah, I also found out, I don't know if you remember, but we had some confusion about how to mark that on your sheet.
Yeah, at the campaign level, yeah.
And how you do it. The reason it is like that is because it's designed like it's a paper sheet. So if you do like a half cross is 1 and then a full cross is 2, but that doesn't work in Roll20. So
Yeah, I remember now after like poring over the book afterwards, I was like, oh, I see how this is supposed to work. That doesn't work in Roll20. Never mind. But yeah. So yeah, that was just to say, because there are 2 different campaign actions, one of which clears stress and one of which starts the healing process. And we're going to take, I think it's 2 specialists in for this mission, right? And 2 specialists will go on the secondary mission. Yeah. So our scout's going to be probably good for the recon and supply mission. The officer, if the scout's wounded, the sniper's probably a good, well, you can see. Anyway, if you open up my sheet later, you can see the state of all of the named characters as well, like in one glance. The Marshal Valeria Zdani. Oh wait, I've named the bloody, that name generator has popped out the same name as the Marshal has. So we're going to call the one in the Star Vipers not Valeria Zdani. She's going to be Valeria something else, basically.
They're all related.
Yeah. The entire Legion is just made up of family members.
Cool. So first thing is, since we advanced Quartermaster, you have to mark spend 1 food to feed the Legion, or the Legion will lose 2 morale. Do you do that, Ludo?
I don't have food boxes.
Oh no, we have no food. Well,
I cannot mark food because I don't have food stores.
well, good that we have supplies.
I'm sure we should still have some food left.
If we dredge up the commander's tent, maybe there is like...
So you have 2 supplies, so you can spend supply to. I think that's you're supposed to be able to do that. Again, blah blah blah. Spend.
I remember when we finished up last session, it certainly wasn't a case of, we were desperately out of everything. We certainly had, it looked like we hadn't really gained much, but we weren't going to all starve in the next session, from what I remember.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe we missed the food.
No, I think you can use 1 supply to get like 3 boxes of food stores, but then you take 1 supply down, and so you have 2 supply instead.
That makes sense.
Because yeah, it's just like a abstract measure. I think that's how it works. Yeah. So you spend the food, and then the Quartermaster, you take the campaign actions. So as you see here under the campaign action here, it says there are some different ones. You can acquire assets, you can give liberty, start a long-term project, recruit, or do rest and recuperation. Yeah, we'll give you some pointers to how our soldiers are doing here. There's definitely some wounded ones and stressed out ones as well, I guess. Or is there many who has stress?
So the stress is mainly carried by the surviving rookies of the Silver Stags and the medic. They're the only people who really have stress. Obviously, I don't think that's major. It's just, we won't really be able to use the Silver Stags before that stress is cleared.
That's fine. There's also some stress on some of the specialists.
I think it's just the medic, because I don't believe, according to the so the secondary mission ones don't take stress; they just take wounds, as far as I can tell. And our heavy on the last mission, of course, traumaed out. So he's got a clean slate. He's just got a trauma. Mm-hmm. So really, it's just a medic, and he's got a stress of 3, which I would say effectively puts him out of whatever primary mission is going to be. because at 3 stress you are basically going to trauma out by the end of a session, right? Like you're not going to go very long.
Yeah.
So which campaign action are we doing? So there is one for healing, there is one for stressing,
Yeah,
like de-stressing, more like.
there's loads of campaign actions for stressing. That's called fighting.
The rest of this campaign.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
that's the choices you have there, Ludo. Do you have any ideas which one you want to go for?
I think for sure rest and recuperation.
Rest and recuperation.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about liberty. If it's only one legionnaire that would really benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess on this case, are we aware of which assets we can use before we choose the action?
You can choose which you want. I think here I can see. I'm just gonna check the asset rating of the place here, which determines which roll you need to make. Let's see, I think there's a good asset rating here because there's supplies in the city. Plainsword. Plainsword has asset rating of 2, so you roll 2 dice and take the best.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get acquire asset and try to get religious supplies, just in case.
Cool.
So
And roll
fortune roll.
fortune roll of 2, yes. That's a 6. It's an exceptional asset. That gives you, I think, let's see. Gives you 6 uses of religious supplies. Exceptional asset.
What are religious supplies good for?
Reliquaries and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So or you can also use them one religious supply to give a better engagement roll on religious mission, which is maybe what Ludo was thinking about here. Cool, and then you do the rest and recuperation. Each legionnaire marks a tick in any harm roll.
So if you've got 1 level 2 harm and there's 2 ticks in the level 2 harm row, that's 1 tick. Next rest and recuperation will heal them entirely of all of the level 2 harm. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so our brave rookie Adhikar has been healed of his burns that he acquired in the last mission entirely, because that was a level 1 harm. And our 2 specialists are on the mend, but not quite there.
Yeah.
And everybody else died who got wounded. So
Well, I guess that makes it easy at least to manage.
yeah, when all my boys are dead, my job gets a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. Cool. So next thing is that you can assemble the engagement roll for the mission here.
Okay. Let me just get onto the thing. Religious mission. So, did the quartermaster send religious supplies to ward and protect the legionnaires? I think we acquired them, right? So, are we going to spend them?
What do you say, quartermaster?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because otherwise there was going to be we have to have a role play scene where the marshal is arguing with the quartermaster over the scarcity of supplies and the need to make sure you don't send our men out there to die without the holy symbols around their necks because you were holding on to them, you scroungy bastard.
That's why we got them.
Yes. Cool. So that is a +1d. We don't have any corruption, I don't believe. So that is fine. That's +1d. And then +1d, everyone who's oath sworn to the Legion. Oh, we need to decide which specialists are going as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Because there was
I would
corruption
send
last
the
time,
officer,
so-
Ragav. I'm going to send him, Ragav the Younger, out, I think, because his officer's good at religious and supply missions. And you know what? I think I'm going to send our heavy out as well, Alexei Koloevich. Mainly because I want to play the Koloevich brothers again in the game. So cool. So everyone's oath sworn. We're at 2D. The commander did not spend intel. Not everyone's thingy. So we're at 2D basically, +2D.
Do we need how many? We just have one intel, right?
Yes, we do. So before we start the mission, you also get to ask some questions. I guess we can just do them now, I guess. So you have one intel, right?
Yeah.
You get to
So-
ask one of a list of questions.
But then do I have to spend the intel to ask the questions?
No.
Oh, just having the intel gives me one question.
Yeah.
Great. Yay.
I got a 5 on the fortune roll.
Mm-hmm. And that gives you.
I think that gives us
position.
risky.
You're in a risky position when the mission starts. Yep.
Yeah, I have an idea already of how that might look.
Okay.
Cool. So before we go into the fiction, Commander, you may ask your intel question.
What are my intel questions?
Let's see here. You have two questions. One for the zero intel, which we didn't do last time actually, but now I found out that we should really do these things. So, and then there's the if you hold one or more intel. So the questions for one or more intel is what's useful to bring on this mission, who's invested in this mission, what's a challenge we might face on this mission, which broken troops do we expect to face on these missions, what resource or benefits might we find at a specific location ahead, what might be a weakness of an elite we have encountered, or what might be a craving or instinct of an elite we have encountered.
I guess I'm going to go for what challenge, because we haven't encountered the elite yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going for what challenge are we going to encounter?
Yeah, awesome. So you have heard reports say that there is. Let's see, I'm gonna find. There is an infamous on this island called the Doctor. The Doctor is one of Blighter's most trusted officers who is known to be like to work with him making the undead. So you heard that there is some like a laboratory set up there or something, and that they have like desecrated this temple with doing it, but also that the Doctor is apparently there. Yeah. Which probably is not a good sign because he's usually like the one who's in charge of like making new monsters for Blighter.
Okay.
However, the Doctor is not like the most physical, imposing Infamous, but more takes his powers from the creature he makes.
Yeah, so the things that he makes are going to be with the Doctor. So, on the good news, he's not very physical. On the bad news, he will be surrounded by
Physical things.
yeah. But if we can kill him, that's one of Render's bastards down.
Yeah, it is. And the question for the Zero intel is, what's the highest threat we can expect on these missions? How much travel should we expect for this mission? What would be a useful item to bring on this mission? What are two approaches we could use here on a mission? Which squad distrusts or don't respect the leadership? Or how does our chosen feel about these missions?
I think we haven't really I'm going to go for what do we need to take with us? Does everyone think this is useful? Any opinions?
I do think that's useful, but I don't think we've got any more supplies than what we've brought with us. I don't think the Quartermaster's got any black shot or anything left over because we spent it last time. So I don't know. Is there a way that we can acquire stuff?
I meant more like light versus heavy versus.
I hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah, like what kind of loadout would be useful?
It's well, I guess if you wanted to know about that, that would be more like what kind of approaches would be possible here.
Oh yeah,
that would be cool.
I think
I think
this island is pretty crowded, but they don't expect anyone to be stupid enough to go here. So they're not really prepared for. I don't think they're like keeping watch very much, for people coming over the river. So you have an element of surprise there. You could definitely like try to do it sneakily. It's definitely like the safest way to do it, but I mean, if you're caught, then you're caught. Another way, I guess, is to try to do like a smash and grab. But there's definitely like a lot of undead here, so it's a bad idea to make this a long mission if you're going to fight.
So my Legion officers to Legion officers rather than to the GM. My reading of what Mikhail said is that perhaps the best approach would be like a blitzkrieg. You know, like we get in, we storm in, we storm back out again, rather than like if we try and sneak in, that could work. But basically, like when the alarm, if they get alerted to us and we don't get all the way to our target, then we'll be in a dead spot. Whereas if we can dictate it if we move fast and hard, basically.
The thing is, the Doctor is, I bet, has a way of getting out really fast. That's how the Doctor works.
He's our. That's still a success, though. If the Doctor leaves and we drive the Doctor away, that's still a success. But I don't know.
I mean, if we can catch the Doctor and kill the Doctor, or like just catch the Doctor, or I don't like bring the Doctor down, that's like 2 points.
Yeah. No, I would go with the fast. I quite like the idea. We've got a heavy and an officer, right? That's what I've decided.
That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose. So this is more kind of like a system thing. Would it not make more sense to ask these questions and then change your load, like be able to change your squad?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that's what we'll do. It's just more me wrapping my head around the system.
And that was the question, because like if we wouldn't be able to do that, this whole discussion would be pointless.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously, if we were go sneaky, we use the scout or the sniper, right? Whereas, but I mean, my vote would be for the blitzkrieg, anyways. That would be my. That's what the marshals.
Okay.
Advising, but the commander gets to choose. So let's see what the quartermaster says.
Well, yeah. What do you think, quartermaster? Other than a squad that can. And I think you're muted.
No, I'm actually thinking.
Oh, okay. So we have the doctor who probably has a way to escape, and the place isn't really guarded. We can either just go storm the place, get through all the undead thingies, and get to the doctor before the doctor can run away. I think it's a he, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or we can sneak in, get to the doctor before anyone can figure us out that we exist, and then kill him and then come back out. That's the two actions.
Cannot, instead of barging in and trying to get to the doctor, survey which likely places the doctor is going to be and intercept them?
Is our mission to kill the doctor, though, or is it not just that the doctor's here?
Oh yeah, this is the thing. This is a religious mission. What are we? What does the doctor have to do with all of this religiousness? What are we doing?
Yeah. Could we recap what the primary objective is, Mikhail, for this?
The primary objective is to cleanse the place of undead.
Okay.
Oh, so we need to go in and kill everyone.
Yeah,
that
so
what cleansing
in
is?
that case, it's blitzkrieg.
If we need to kill everyone, then if the doctor runs away, the doctor runs away. We still did our job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Turns out a bit of outcome clearing makes the whole thing nicer. Thanks for that.
Awesome. So, well, I guess then it's a risky approach. So I think basically this place is like a undead factory. This is not like the Walking Dead or anything where people just when they die become undead. It's like a process of filling them with alchemicals that makes them rise up again. And the blighter is the chosen who does it this way. I mean, there's also the Cinder King who does it differently with Cinder Blood. But in this island there is this basically set up like this kind of they are shipping in big not I imagine like kind of flat boats with stacked with corpses to the island where the doctor then does things to them, and I guess this place has been chosen because it's an easy place to transport them further towards the front line and move things about with boats in the river. And it doesn't really have anything to do with it. There's a temple there, but when you arrive, I imagine it's probably I imagine it's being at night, and I mean, as you predicted, there's not really guards there. There's just I guess you're coming up with coming with a boat downstream, and there's not really that much traffic here now, but you hear the screams from the shrieks of the undead from the island, and you see there's this I imagine it being it looks it's like a stone building made out of black stone. It's a relatively small island. I imagine it being you can walk across it in 10 minutes maybe. But there's this big structure there, and it there's some it's a bit overgrown with the plants on the walls covering the half of the wall with leaves, and it's a little bit I guess it used to be a little bit overgrown, but you see the trees being cut down, and there's a lot of moving on the island. As you come up with the boat behind you see like that there is a risky position. I think you hear like the boat thump against against this like sand on the beach there, and you see that there is a crowd of like 6 line troops of Blighter a rotor, like kind of like moving along the beach, going like right towards you with the let's see, with the a horror going in the back, and you see like this huge freakish amalgamation of like parts of different people stitched together, compiling like this towering beast, like lumping over them, and you like almost, I mean, I guess you don't hear like the ground isn't shaking, but seeing this thing makes it that you might feel like it is. What do you do?
Should we choose characters that we're going to play, guys, and our loadouts? I think we have to choose that, right?
Yeah.
First.
Oh, can someone help me with? I think I'm going to go for Ragav.
Okay.
Because I have the stats noted down here.
Cool.
I'll have that sheet open to update things.
Thanks.
And do you want to play the heavy looter, or do you want to play one of the rookies?
I'm going to play one of the rookies.
Okay.
Valeria or Valeria?
And I think, do we all choose the same loadout, or
No.
do we choose individually? No, you all choose individually.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think...
choose also which items. So, which load do you want to go with, Ragav?
What is my heavy load?
Your heavy load is fine heavy armor, or you can have a battlefield banner. So I guess in this case probably.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the armor because the banner is not really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the banner is useful for martial, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going heavy. Cool. So you have all the normal items. You also have a fine luxury item, a fine shield, and a fine pistol.
Okay.
So, and then the fine heavy armor.
Great. And utility wise, oh, the fine armor is a utility or?
No.
Okay.
So you can have a hand weapon, a large weapon. You already have
Weapons.
reliquaries, I guess, because you sent religious supplies.
Oh, so I have the reliquary thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess
you
no.
have it because you sent reliquaries, no religious supplies with the mission.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm not gonna pick any utilities. I think I have everything.
You can have black shot, compass and lenses, supplies, winter clothing, oil, a large weapon.
I think let's go for oil. I can pick 2, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, so that if we need to put something on fire, at least we have that.
Yeah, and we established that, I guess that you have a musket or something like that. No, that was the rookie you had last time.
Yeah.
But you could also have like we learned from that lesson that perhaps it's good to also have a melee weapon. So you have a pistol as well.
Yeah, so I have a pistol. I can go for a large weapon. Is that a shootable weapon thing?
Yeah, or hand weapon. It can be anything you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go for a... Yeah, let's go for a sword.
Hand weapon. Cool. What about our friend Malexei?
He's gone for the heavy kit with his tower shield, fine armor, flare gun, massive spear. So yeah, he's basically the same as he was last time, just with a more vicious gleam in his eye and a few new scars.
Mm-hmm. And which rookie are you playing, Ludo?
So I'm taking Valery Renosko, and I'm also going heavy because we are in expecting trouble, and we are here to clear them out.
Yes. And that is armor and shield and a family weapon. What's your family weapon, Valeria?
So back at the Principe, we use hooked spears. So there is a hooked spear adapted from a farming implement that has been passed around, and it's my time to wield it.
Cool. Awesome. And how does your fine armor look like, Ragav? Is it like something you got from your father, perhaps?
Yeah, and I think it has a family crest on it, the same as he has. I think it was a gift given to me by him, like 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of it's not like worn out as much as you would think it is, because like Ragav is just hanging uh, like more in the background. He doesn't get involved in skirmishes most of the time, so it's not like it's a worn down, bent all over the place kind of thing. But it's still like it. Yeah, it is kind of pristine.
Cool. What is the family crest?
Oh, good question. I guess I'm trying to remember the heritage stuff.
Oh, let me see here.
I think it's a Barton with
Yeah, it's a Barton, and you're stoic.
yeah. I think it's I think it's just a palm tree. I think it like as a symbol of like standing against buffeting winds and that kind of thing. So uh, it's 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 just a palm tree.
Mm-hmm. And you, Alexei, you're a bit wounded from the last mission, but of course you're also tough. How does it even show that you're wounded?
I think it was what you could see as he was putting on his armor. There was like the stitching on the inside had popped slightly as he was putting on his vest, and the blood started to go through the uniform. But when he has all of his armor on, he's Malexi, and he's the heavy, he's the rock. You can't see any weakness.
Yeah. Cool. Um, yeah. So you see this like a group of undead going right at you, and I think like you hear in the background Maki. It's like, oh shit, they're gonna see us any second now. What do you do?
Malexi looks to young Ragav for orders.
Sorry, you just broke up. Uh, what's the name?
Will?
Mikhail. No.
Oh.
Can you say the last thing of what you said?
Yeah. You see like this group of undead coming towards you, and I think like that Makit that we saw earlier, he like turns, I guess probably like towards I guess addressing you probably, Ragav, since you're the officer. Like, oh shit, I think they've seen us. And if not, they're gonna walk right at us any second. What do we do? What's the command, Ragav?
Let's try to get around them. We don't need to start a fight if we don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
I think at those orders, Malexi grits his teeth and mutters a curse word in Zemyatin underneath his breath, but doesn't say anything else.
It sounds like a group action here.
Yeah, a group sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a maneuver.
It's. I mean, if you can, you're the one who decides which attribute it is. I guess it can be both prowl and maneuver. Like I think prowl is the more sneaky version, but I think you can also use maneuver to like get around quickly just before they notice, because there's also other movements here. So it's just gonna be
Wait,
the less.
we don't have prowl in.
Then
Is
maneuver.
that scout? You mean or?
Scout probably is. Yeah. My
Yeah.
is forged by the dark confusion.
Yeah. The reason I'm thinking the way I think about scout is like just go in and gather information and try not to be seen.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Maneuver.
going
I'm
around.
thinking. Yeah. Okay.
So you're trying to get around here. Who of you has the highest maneuver?
I have one.
And Malexei probably doesn't.
Malexei has 2 in maneuver.
So you're probably the one leading them.
Yeah, swearing under his breath as he goes. But he is a veteran, so I think are we on a boat still, or are we on foot now?
Yeah, you just like landed on the shore with the boat.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I was going to say if he was on a boat, I'd be like, well, Malexi just takes over rowing and speedily gets us away. Okay. Well, I think so. He's going to try and lead the squad on a, to infiltrate the docks.
So basically, how this works is that Malexei will take all the stress of the rest of the group's failings. So if you fail, there will be stress, but you only need one success among the group to get around. So you can start with rolling roll.
I'm in a risky situation, right?
Yeah. And there's a standard effect. I think you'll get around or avoid them if you succeed.
Okay. That is a partial success. 4 and 1. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Valeria, you can also roll a maneuver. Do you have any dots in it?
Yes, I have one.
Yay, go.
There it goes. It's done. That's a lot of things to press.
Yeah. It's a stress for you right there.
Yeah.
And then Raghav, you also have one.
Yeah, I rolled just one dice and got a 4.
So that's one stress and it's a partial success. I'm gonna also roll for the rookies actually. See, maybe you're lucky, or maybe you're unlucky and get another stress. Let's see, I'm just gonna roll a fortune roll. And that's with one dice as well for the rookies. That's a 3, so another stress for you there. Okay, so
How many stresses is that for Malexei?
2.
2. Okay.
So I think like you I think this is this. I think you do get like around and they don't notice you, but as you like move in towards like towards the temple, you you see like the courtyard, and there's like this these piles of corpses there, um, and you see that there's someone like someone with like a few undeads there, and someone standing there and commanding them to carry them onto this like cart to drag them inside, and you see like these fumes coming out of this like stone building, and as it turns around, you see like that it is the doctor with like the white mask with like the beak, looking straight at you, and he like hisses, and you see like some of the undeads in like the rotters in the courtyard like turning towards you and like wrestling and like looking at you for like a second. What do you do? This is a desperate situation, just to be clear. This is the
it's a desperate situation. This is the consequence of the last one,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Because I was like, oh well, because we succeeded in the last one, could it not be like? But it was a bad out. It was only a partial success. Blades is so hard on you, man.
Should we all just open fire on him? Like, just riddle him with bullets? Then I can marshal everyone to just aim properly, I guess.
Yeah, and this is like a group, so
Well, so I was curious about how we do things rather if it wasn't as a group. So, for example, I haven't got anything in shoot, right? And I don't really imagine Malexi's having a. But so
Maybe we
have
can
a
all
force
just.
of rookies, and we have a bunch of people with guns. Can we not do like a rally of shots, and then that makes a better effect for me defending you when we do close ranks? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I'm also curious how martial applies to that. Like, how? So the description, the way I imagine martial is like giving everyone clear orders to focus on one target. Could it be like run and fire at the same time, and Alexei would be like running and just engaging pretty like Alexei-ly?
I suppose it's how much falls into like it's a setup action, isn't it? Like so, like in one round you can do like one person's acting as a setup action, and then yeah.
So fictionally speaking, here there is a few things you can do. Like firstly, there is like you can to attack like both this infamous and the group at the same time. Is gonna, if you're gonna do that, that's gonna give you a lot of like little effect, because they are effective like a threat tree, and you're like a legionnaire is a threat 1, so this is automatically going to give you quite a little effect, and you're already in a desperate situation. But what you could do is also like attack, try to single him out, because that's the weakness.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, that's why I said shoot him, everyone. But then how would Marshall work with this situation? Like, would it be targeting him and then everyone just doing their own thing? Would that work?
I mean, you can try to, like, fictionally, you could try to separate him from his group, right? So if you for example used would use the group to try to do that in some way, you can describe it however you want fictionally.
Okay.
And
yeah.
have the heavy attack the infamous, for example. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do here.
Yeah. Okay,
so I have the War Machine ability.
Yeah.
So maybe it'd be good that if the heavy drew off like his forces and like held them at bay while you guys just focus on the doctor.
Yeah, I think because you're just a group all by yourself, I think that would be great.
Yeah, I think that would make sense fictionally as well, right? Like, because you've got guns and shit like that, and you can all flank the doctor and pin him off while I'm just smashing apart
Yeah, because like if Malexei were to just also go toward the doctor, then you don't know when you're in the line of fire.
Yeah.
And then we've got a lot of rookies firing like crazy.
Yeah, that
Okay.
might happen. It's true. But
So-
cool. So how does this look like in the fiction? So you see like you walk up in this situation and you see that you're discovered, and there's this infamous there, and there's quite a bit of I think maybe like 10 rotters. Like they're not the most fearsome of the enemies, but there's quite a bit of them. So what commands do you bark, Ragav?
I think when it comes to Malexei, like their eyes just meet and Ragav just points to the horde of like stuff, like like go take care of them. and
Yeah.
and like this is the like if this was anyone else other than Malexei, I don't think Ragav would have the guts to send them to single-handedly just go and go crazy. Uh, but like because this is Malexei and Ragav trusts and respects the crazy aggressive person, he's like, yeah, go have at it, yay!
Yeah.
And then, oh sorry,
I was just gonna say, I think Malexi just like raises his shield up in front of him and holds the hammer down low, and then just goes running straight at the nearest one. You know. So yeah.
And in terms of the others, like Ragav raises both his hands to grab their like the attention of all the rookies, and then says, "Everyone, fire at the doctor." Do we know that his name is the doctor? No.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
He's infamous.
yeah. So, and then as he does that, he just pulls out his own pistol and starts shooting.
Cool. I definitely think that this is you're doing this as a martial action, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can use the martial action to set up the actual group shooting thing.
Don't think so too. I think it makes more sense if you do like a group action here.
Yeah. So, would it work to use the martial to set up the group action, or
Sure.
that's not?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Just No, I don't think so. Well, actually, let's just do it. It's cool, and you get to use your cool ability. So whatever. I mean, you can roll a martial for that and give extra effect to the group, and we'll see. Also, we get to see. We also get to see Valeria doing leading an action here. Possibly that would be cool.
Cool. Well, okay, so I'm gonna roll the martial thingy. Ugh. I got a 3.
Yeah. Cool. So I think I'm gonna withhold my consequences until I see the group action here.
Yeah. Okay. So I should roll the shoot, or
No,
because I'm leading that, or Valeria is.
You're setting it up. So with
Okay.
Marshall, so it will be Valeria who gets to follow through with these orders. You hear like but how does it sound when because you fail, right? So is it anything about how you do it that is failing here, or because you don't get the effect that you want? The rookies, they don't get inspired by your marshalling here.
I think it's that the rookies are afraid of the infamous. Like they came face to face with this like person that they've all heard stories about, and like they're just a bit afraid and not really taking action because they're like frozen with panic.
I think like as you do like the commands, I think you see the doctor like just like point towards the rookies and say, just you wait, in an hour or two you'll be like these. and the camera like pans to Valeria. How do you look at this moment? Are you afraid, or is it because you don't catch the orders of the officer at least?
So there's only smoke and the burst of coordinated dish fire, and we see Valeria covering her eyes and coughing as she tries to steady her own musket and to shoot in turn. And there are tears on her eyes. She's really straining as she tries to see through everything and still tries to shoot.
Awesome. So I think here I'm gonna make a because you're shooting at the doctor as well here, right? It's I think it's a 6 o'clock to take the doctor out. And here, because you are a group of 6 and they're more than you, and the doctor is, well, he's threat 3, so, and you are rookies, all of you. So I think it has limited effect. Do you want to push yourself for effect?
Yeah, let's push because I don't have shoots, so.
Oh yeah, you can also push for an extra dice if you want, but
We are from which position?
desperate, I think.
Okay, so we cannot push to desperate to increase the effect. Okay, so I'm gonna push for the extra dice.
Cool. And there's nobody assisting you here because everyone is doing things. So, but a devil, no, you can't do a devil's bargain and push as well. So cool. You do 2 stress. So let's get an extra die for you. So 1 die. And I'm also gonna roll for the rookies. And I think you see like Makitla is like holding on to his like blunderbuss or whatever, and there's like I don't think he really is having it up by his head. Even he's just like holding it down because he's a little panicked. It doesn't even look like he's aiming much, but what is that? That's a 5. Well, we'll see.
And what is your role, Ludo?
It's another 5. It's a 5 for both of them.
Ah, okay, great.
And I think I mean you do the damage, so you hear like the how does it look, because you're not good at shooting, but you definitely, like, both of you and the rest of the rookies, they hit the target. What are you shooting with even? Is it like a musket or something?
Yeah, that's what we have.
And I think, like, you see there's this as you're shooting, you see like this these the rockets, they're like running towards you, and one is like jumping over my kit, and you hear like the scream from him as he gets bitten, and another one runs over Islana, and just like you they trample over them. Do you resist any of this? I think they both will be dead. No? Cool. So, Alexei, what are you doing?
Effectively keep the path clear for the squad to get to the doctor. and to cut the doctor off from the rest of his guys. So what he does is he runs straight towards the nearest rotter. Is it they're called? And it's basically going to attempt to effectively use it as a club to beat the rest of the rotters back, like kind of like just smash into it and throw it back into its nearest companion, like tangle them all up as much as possible in the melee.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a skirmish, I would say, probably.
Yeah. They are a small group, but they are not, because you're fighting only the rotters here, but you have threat over them, actually.
Cool.
So it's a standard effect. I think it's a 6 o'clock to eradicate them here. The whole
Cool.
group of 10 rotters.
No, that makes sense. I think mainly we're trying to just tie them up rather than necessarily kill them, right? So there's plenty more where this came from. So what position would this be?
I think also desperate because you're 1 against 10.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Also mark XP for your desperate rolls.
Okay. I just need to remind myself what I can do with anchor again.
You can get one either I think effect or one threat or one scale up, I think.
Okay.
So if you want to, you can be a small group.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, why not? That would put us on an even footing, right? So if that'd be spending an anchor point, right? To do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that gives you a risky position instead.
Okay.
You want to push for effect?
No, I'm gonna try and save the stress for resisting consequences, probably, and not gain another trauma before the end of the session.
Yeah, right, because you already had one. I think a devil's bargain here. What weapon are you using?
I think he's using the heavy maul.
I know devil's bargain here. You get 2 corruption regardless because you're splatting around with all these like rotters, and you'll get all these like gunk on yourself.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Just I need to double check what it is that reliquaries do something against the corruption, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You can reduce it by 1, and you can roll to resist with an extra die.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take that devil's bargain, and I'll use one of the reliquaries later on to get rid of one of those corruptions.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's
so that
extra die for you there.
Cool. So that gives me 1 extra dice, right, overall, on top of my skirmish, unless I push myself for an extra stress.
2 extra stress.
2 extra. Yeah, no, not for 2 extra stress. 2 is a lot. Ah, man, bad outcome. Right. Well, this is why I save my stress to resist the consequences of this bad outcome.
Like all 3s and 2s?
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Why?
Yeah, you see like this. I imagine like there's like 3 or 4 of them going over, getting at the rookies, and you see like the rest of them going over towards you, and you hit, but you see like that they're coming so fast that you don't get enough momentum to really hurt them very much, and like you're caught in between them, and they're all like biting and clawing at you, like this circle around, and you see it from above where Malexia is like in the middle of this like clump of and that's like crawling at you, and you take 3 damage.
Okay, so what do I do to resist that?
It's a prowess resist.
Okay, and what are the costs of resisting it? You spend a stress, right, to resist, or
no? You roll your resist track, and then it's you get as much stress as the difference between your die roll and 6. So if you roll a 1, you take 5 stress.
Oh, okay.
And then you you basically roll the number of attributes. What do you call them? Actions in the under prowess.
Yeah.
I
So,
see.
so if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just push your prowess button, there will be on
It'd
top
be
there.
2. Yeah. You know what? I think I'll take the wins. It will just they snatch away one of his
Also-
fine shield.
Also remember that you have a +1 die to resist on desperate actions, so you have 4
3.
resist here.
We're 4. Okay.
Do this. Do it.
Yeah, go on then. I'll do it. Let's see. I really don't want to traumatize him at the very beginning of the mission.
I think with 4, you really have to be unlucky, or me.
Okay, there we go. Well, guess what? I am really, really unlucky. It's a 3, so I'm at 5 stress now. I'm 1 stress away from traumatizing out already. Great.
How do you resist this? Like, what does it look like?
I think it's like you see him getting beaten back. You know, like they're piling on top of his shield. They're pulling at him. It seems like he's about to go down. And I think he resists it just by like, I think, maybe how he gets. So I get these corruptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like, in fact, like the way he gets the corruption is one of them's like pretty much like pinning down his arm on one side, and the other one, his arm gets snagged up on another. And so he just snarls and headbutts the zombie that's closest to him and smashes its face into pieces with his forehead, and that gives him momentum to like rest free and then carry on fighting. But he's just completely covered in the remains of this zombie's face now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll mark the 2 corruption, and I'm never making another resistance roll again.
Yeah. Can I do a? So the way you use channels is you use them to set up someone else's action, right? Or would that be in my turn, or can I do it now?
You can also like what it does is that you like get you can get something like an asset or something like that that can help in this situation.
Yeah. I was thinking like if in this setting we have, I don't know, grenades or something with an area effect, I could just.
Of course there is, because you decide, because you're the one who channels.
Yeah. So I was thinking of giving Melexei a grenade that he could just throw into the pile of undead to scatter them or kill some of them, or just have like, or maybe even more than one. Maybe I get critical success and I get more.
Well,
But yeah.
we'll see. When you use your channels, you can leverage your connection, social capital, and authority to acquire supplies beyond your allotment.
So this is pretty much me going to the quartermaster and saying, "Hey, I have a feeling we will be dealing with a lot of undead, because I've heard that there's a doctor in there, and I'm looking for something that we can use to kill lots of them or some of them if they decide to attack us together."
And I think the quartermaster, you can play the quartermaster here, Lulu. How does he react to this?
Well, there's a lot of things that they can take them, but I'm afraid it's going to take out some of the troops at least. I predict that there will probably be fighting in close quarters.
Yeah, probably, and maybe we need to go into like enclosed spaces. What can you recommend that we can use to take them out?
Well, I would suggest maybe some blasting charges, but should be a last resort.
Oh, why? What is with these blasting charges? What? I haven't used one of these for a while.
Well, they are not exactly approved. They are always a bit risky to use. That's why we usually keep to more careful uses of alchemy. These are very unreliable and they are prone to explode on their own if they are shaken. So discharging them at the middle of a combat situation, it's going to be dangerous.
Well, I hope the person that I'm going to pass them to knows to throw them before he gets attacked by like those undead. And I grin because I think that Melexei will probably forget this. But I'm gonna try.
Well, at least if they take too long, tell them to, when they fall in the ground, to rattle as much as possible so that when they die, they explode and take them dead with them.
Yeah, I think actually I want you to roll the marshal here to for the
To see how well I pass the message on to
yeah.
like, this is really important, Melexei. You really have to throw this before you get attacked by things. Okay, rolling now. Okay, that's a 4. I wonder what a 4 looks like on an explosion. Okay.
No, it's not on the explosion; it's on the asset you get. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
think like basically I'll give you.
Wait, sorry, I needed to roll a 2d6 for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then pick the higher number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So I didn't do this wrong. Great.
What I could do is like if you want to use an extra channel, I'll say that you have had the time to give Alexei the perfect instructions.
Fine. 2 channels.
Mm-hmm.
All for you, my what's the race called? Zenyatta friend.
So, Valeria, you see like your comrades getting run over by these rotters. What do you do?
I think at this point, because we were on a shooting line, I think on this point, Valeria tries to reorganize things around her to fight their way to a defensive position. Because now that we lost the advantage of the first salvo and we are kind of pushed into disadvantage, it's better to just try to get your back against something hard, defensible, than actually keep rushing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think like so. Is this a martial or something like that? Or what do you do? Maneuver? What are you doing?
It's probably a martial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you see like around you that there Rakash and Karosh Manabur, they're still like, is still like trying to fight off the rotters, but it's obvious, I guess, to you that this is a very losing position because you're outnumbered and yeah, you're in the open. So
So, is which type of position it is, and from which effect I'm starting?
I think this is desperate.
Okay.
And I think actually that this is limited effect because you're in middle of the fighting.
Okay. So I'm gonna take stress to boost my effect.
Mm-hmm. So you'll get away, so it's standard effect.
Yeah.
Is anybody helping? No, you're not helping.
Can rookies help? Because we're all busy.
Yeah, I don't think.
Or can Ragav help? Because like the channel is in the past.
Yeah, Ragav can help.
Yeah, I think Ragav tries to jump in and like shoot at these hordes of zombies before they get to.
Mm-hmm. So I mark 1 stress for you then here. Cool. So you get an extra dice. You can roll.
Success.
Yes. Good. You see like that. What do you say to your fellow rookies?
So as they are still fumbling around at the musket, I just told them, "There's no time for the charging. They are on top of us. Quick, grab the closest to you and turn your backs against each other, and slowly and methodically get back. Cover your brother or cover your sister. We will all get away from this cursed island."
Awesome, and I think you see like Rakash like taking the butt of his musket and like smashing into one of the faces and like to save Kaosh, who was just about to get bitten, and you like managed to move back to like the building where you can go like up a stair. Where you have it's more easy to hold the position because you have like this small area. Meanwhile, what is Malexei doing?
Well, what is Malexei doing? I mean, I suppose really he's gonna have to smash Malexei smash, right? Like that's pretty much it. Yeah, but I think having fought his way free of the clear for a moment, he is going to throw himself right back into it with another skirmish roll. And so that's a...
You're not going to use the charges? How can you even use the charges mechanically speaking?
Oh yeah, that's an idea. How could I use the charges? Would that be a wreck?
Sure, if you I'm fine with that. You doing it at the Rotters or at the Doctor?
The fortress is really our target, right?
Oh, the fortress. Okay, yeah.
That's right, isn't it? That's where I should be throwing.
I think we want to kill all the zombies and keep the thing intact. Like we want to cleanse it, right? Or can you confirm it?
Yeah. I mean, you if you want to wreck, you can like there's just your imagination who's standing in the way of like you can do whatever you want. If you want to wreck a building and have the wall fall down on the zombies, you can do that. You can do whatever you want.
Can I basically trap them in here with the basically? So the only way the Doctor can to get to escape is to go through us with the charge.
Yeah, sure. So it's a courtyard, and I imagine this probably being like maybe the only way in is like the gate that you came in from the beach. So how do you go about it? Do you like try to?
Well, so I don't want to block off our escape, but mostly more in the sense of like if there's like there's another gate, like another courtyard exit way, and I think that like Malexei's basically like is pushing back like holding the zombies back and then whipping out this charge with his shield and whipping out the charge with his other hand, and then he's going to just collapse this exit. So basically the Doctor's only possible escape now is going to be through the squad rather than slinking off to the side,
Cool. Yeah.
So okay. So that is a wreck, which is 2 dice. What position are we in? Risky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Effect?
I think... So what are you using? You're using your... I think it's limited effect.
I have a fine wrecking kit and a fine tower shield.
Okay. Sure.
So in fact mine are specified as small alchemical, so maybe like they're better alchemical hand charges, right? Like, yeah.
Sure, then I'll say standard effect.
Cool.
Can I also aid him by using my oil to enhance the effect?
How do you do it? Yeah, sure. You can do it, and you can just describe because I think it's probably good to see what Will is doing here before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but would that be an
Yeah,
extra
but just
die?
like before you roll.
Yeah, that'd be an extra dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that would
And
put me
Mikhail,
on.
if you could mark the stress.
That's 3 dice. Let's see if I can roll above a 3 for Malika. Let's see. A 5.
For once.
Yeah.
Cool. So, describe to me how you're doing this. Like, what does it look like? I mean, you succeed at what you're doing. I'm gonna just add a consequence here.
Okay. I think how it looks is, he bats it back and then like he just kind of like casually underhand rolls the charge down into the tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like the way that Ragav helps is because like Ragav was expecting this, like knew it was happening, and he had the oil in his hand ready to go. And the second that he sees Malexi break free, he just does like a nice overarm toss of the oil straight against the into the tunnel, right? So the charge goes off, and the detonation explodes, but then all of that oil just like ignites and sets fire and catches maybe like like a red shirt rotter that was standing in the tunnel coming out, or something dramatic, basically. Like a rotter staggers out of the tunnel on fire and collapses, and now it's just no one's going down that tunnel or coming through it. It's on fire. It's destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you see like the doctor like looking towards the tunnel and like looking towards you and like realizing that the only way out is through you. And I mean you don't see his face, but you see like his posture change a little bit. I'm gonna mark 2 more ticks on that clock of taking him out because you have him cornered. That's an advantage. Cool. So let's grab a little break here. What about 10 minutes? Be back at 10 past? No, 5 past?
Wait, is the doctor also taking a break? He's not gonna run away while we're not looking. No, just kidding. Okay, yeah.
Cool.
5 past is fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
See you in 10. we're back. So, I think I have thought about what happens.
Oh no.
Yes, exactly. Because of what the consequence of this partial effect is. And this was a risky roll, wasn't it? So I think that what happens is that, I mean, you're throwing pretty much explosives into the lab of the doctor, and it takes fire. It does what it's supposed to do. It collapses the thing, and you can't go out there anymore. But there is like these fumes coming out of these like chemicals that the doctor uses to, and you also see it like around in the rotors there, that they are like dripping with this like green fluid that they have been injected with, and this is now burning. So you both all you see like this cloud of this coming up from the tunnel, and if you don't get out of this place in a very short time, you'll be subject to corruption. What do you do?
I wonder if this thing will kill the zombie things. No?
I don't.
Do we know what kind of effect it's gonna have on the undead?
This is the kind of like fluids and stuff that are that they use to animate the zombie. So probably not.
Yeah, it's not negative, whatever it is.
But what do you do? You're in this very bad situation here, and I don't know. Are you trying still to clear this, or are you trying to escape, or what are you doing? I mean, this is the commanding officer is. What is the commanding officer thinking about this in this moment, seeing how this is going?
We are effed up is one statement that probably he's thinking of. I'm just trying to figure out in the fiction how I could have like something like a flashback that could have prepared us for this moment. Because and I guess the problem with that is, like, fictionally speaking, I don't know if there's a way to stop these fumes. And I don't know, maybe research, if anyone has research, we could research about like what this stuff does to people.
Yeah, sure. If you, that's a cool thing you could do, definitely.
So I know that at least one of our rookies and the NPC rookies has got research. I don't know how we can easily bring rookies into play like that.
I mean, if you gave the order to one of the rookies to do the research beforehand, you could also use Marshall. Or discipline, I guess. Force them to read upon.
I think I'm pretty good at sway, and my sway is 2. I think. Wait, let me double check. Yeah, sway is also great. I could just like ask him nicely, like, "Hey, can you look into this?" It's like we're going into this place where they make undead, and it could be possible that maybe we like they start spilling that stuff on us, or I don't know, or we spill that stuff on ourselves, or we get hit by it. Is there a way to stop the effects of this before it hits us, or and what happens if it does? Will we turn into undead if it just spills on us, or do we have to be injected by this? How does this work?
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's probably Rakash that you're talking to, because I imagine like in the group of the Star Vipers, Rakash is like the person, the one in the group who always does the things that the rest can't be bothered with doing.
Oh, he's the guy that came up with Valyria to the commander, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's exactly the kind of person he is.
And I think like he looks over at you and is like, you want me to read about undead alchemicals? I think this is the way you can roll your sway if you want.
Yeah, let me roll this way. That's a 6 and a 1. That's a 6.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So he has read up on it, and I think actually that I mean the chemical also makes the body it's highly flammable, is what he has found out. So in gas form, there
Yeah.
has been like a lot of explosions in labs of render
And
or Blightware, sorry.
yeah. So explosions, just like this one.
Yeah, and it's burning, right? So I mean, if you could just if you could just like get some more heat on that fire, it might explode the whole place.
Okay. Okay, I think I've done my turn. Or
I mean, are you like communicating this in any way?
yeah, I'm thinking of I'm wondering how we can use this because I think we're out of oil, right?
Yeah.
I passed in all my oil, and I don't have any channels. Oh, so if if the rookies have oil, they can
Yeah.
just pour.
Also, yeah, we have a rookie with oil. Older, I guess older.
Yes, that's what Ludo was saying in the chat, I think.
Cool. So how do you communicate this to Valeria, or to the rookies in general? I guess because that's
Yeah. So I think like as they're going back to like as they're stepping back into the building to go to the second floor, and I guess like take a more like take a better advantage where they're safer and they can still fight from a distance. I uh, I shout to the group of rookies, "Do any of you have oil? We need more oil on this fire."
I guess at this point, Valeria picks up the small barrel of oil and rolls it down towards them.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I think I don't know. This definitely feels like it's desperate because my God, you're like trying to make an explosion, like where you are basically. And it's definitely not a controlled explosion here, but I think it has a great effect actually, because I mean you found out that this is flammable, so and it definitely will do a lot of damage in here if this succeeds. However, yeah, I'm definitely going to put damage on the line here if there's not a great success, because it's gonna explode.
And sorry, how is my stress doing? I'm 4, I think, out of 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look here. You are on 4, yes.
Okay, thanks.
So,
So roll well, Valeria.
what attribute are you using here? I imagine this could be both a rig and a wreck, or even a maneuver if you wanted to do like I don't know. This is a Lord of the Rings thing where someone runs with a barrel of something burning.
Ludo, are you muted?
No, I have absolutely no idea what to do.
Oh.
Guess
You-
wreck.
Wreck, yeah.
Yeah.
So you already have great effect here, so that will fill the rest of the clock.
Mm.
But do you want to push for dice?
Not with the stress.
No. Does anyone assist?
I can't assist, so.
You're on the brink. What about Raghav?
I think I'm also going to assist.
Mhm.
But it depends on how Valeria is doing it. Like I'm wondering how Ragav could assist. Like, is that just running over and kicking it down the tunnel, or
Or covering her, like firing off a shot with his pistol that catches a rotter in the face, or
Yeah.
yeah, so that the thing keeps rolling toward the tunnel. Okay.
Cool. This is the role of the mission here. Make it or break it.
So desperate and standard, right?
No, great.
Great. Okay.
And I think you've got 2 extra die.
2? I thought only 1.
I'm assisting, and
No, only yours.
Melexa. Oh, Melexa isn't? Oh.
Malexia has only 1 stress left until they throw him
Ah.
fire, so...
Okay, so partial success.
Okay, so I think what happens is that it explodes. It definitely has the effect that you anticipated. You see like the air almost burning for like a second, and everyone who is there takes 2 damage. And I think like you see. Everyone who's in the courtyard takes 2 damage. I don't think the rookies do because you're a bit outside of the actions. But both Raghav and Malexei do.
Oh no.
Anyone want to resist that?
How is Melexei? Can Melexei take this?
Oh, Malex's got a full load of armor and heavy and shield, so basically he catches it on his shield and it's
Oh, how does the damage work on with my heavy armor and?
You can take 2 damage with your armor.
Oh, so like this would be 0?
Yeah. But then it's spent. For the mission.
Ah, I see. Okay, I'm not going to resist this.
Okay, so you're just taking it on your armor?
No,
No? You just
No.
take the damage?
I just take it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call it burnt to a crisp.
What? Do I have like 2? Isn't this damage 2? Burn to a crisp means like I'm dead.
No, it's just like you have no eyebrows and your hair is
Ah.
burning.
Why are you can I just ask why are you not taking it on the armor?
Because we're not done with this doctor thing.
It's true, but
you
you're
are actually
definitely
done with the doctor thing because you feel the clock.
yeah. So you definitely if you don't take it on the armor, you're definitely going to be burned, and then we're going to have to spend healing things on you later, right? Whereas the armor's a disposable resource. I mean, I'm metagaming completely to hell here. I'm just kind of like pointing out.
Okay, let's take it on the armor and see how this works out. I have not been hit by stuff before.
Impressive. Yeah. So you like you see the thing burns and like what your armor is metal, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
and you see like these. I think you see like your. Do you have like a cloak or something like that?
Yeah, I guess it has like because it has fine luxury item I was carrying. I think it could be like a cloak or a cape. Let's say cloak, which is more like also just I'm kind. It screams I'm the son of someone who's rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So,
screamed.
yeah. So I imagine like this. I mean, it's not an enclosed space. So I mean, there's an explosion inside. I think the building, but outside it's just like you basically just like this big, like the air is on fire for like a second, and you see and there's like this big explosion inside the temple, and you see like the doctor and everyone who's like outside in front of the courtyard in front of the temple. You see like this big like pyre of flames coming out and like hitting it right in the right hits the doctor right in the face, and I guess also Malexei, but you're like behind your big tower shield, and I guess also you see like on the edge of it, Raghav, that somehow is in a way that it leaves not just his face exposed, and I think you see probably like the face still. You see you take like one. Still see like the eyebrows a little bit burnt off, and like the cape is on fire for a little bit, but somehow it didn't damage you. But you see like there's like some of the golden like things on the armor is like melting down a little bit, and the armor is like completely like burnt and looks like.
Yeah, I think I just have to like quickly just like shake the thingy off, like the armor off me before I get caught. But because at this point, this would be probably me removing the armor completely before I get melted into it.
Yeah. Cool. So the and as like the like you look around and you see like these. I guess I imagine like these. There's some stuff burning that falling down in the air, and like everything is like there's some like parts of things that have got the fire that are like snowing almost. And you see that on the ground is like the beak of the doctor up. You still hear some noises from the beach though. Moving towards you, what do you do?
Time to go, right?
Yeah, I wonder if we can ask the rookies to use their higher vantage point to see what's coming.
I mean, I guess you know what's coming because you saw them earlier.
Oh, turns out they still are alive when the doctor dies. Crap.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess run is the best option. For once, even Malexei says run. Don't we want to go pick up stuff from the? I mean, it's all gone. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. You shout or like run, or how does this look?
Yeah, I just signal to the rookies on the higher vantage point. Like I just wave to them and say run down, and then I guess this would be, I don't know, marshalling them or
Yeah, martial or
discipline.
discipline. Yeah, whichever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for martial because it has totally not been working today.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a 4 o'clock to this escaped island. And you're here. I think it's risky standard because you still have to go past these new these troops that are coming towards you, that are between you and the boat, but they're still not like it's not that close, so you won't be in. You might be in immediate danger as a consequence, but you're not right now. So, are you pushing yourself for effect or dice here, Raghav?
Sorry, I was pressing space on the wrong window. So no, I rolled already, and I crit at 5, which means it now we are going to have a consequence. I got 2 5.
Okay. Yeah, I think. I mean, I fill 2 segments of the clock, so it is 2 out of 4. And you are almost by the boat, but the rookies are almost by the boat. I mean, are you all? I guess I'm gonna let the player characters do things on their own, but you're with them, right? With the rookies.
Yeah, I think we wait for the rookies to all come down, and maybe, I don't know, one of them is lagging behind.
Yeah, no, they're all there. It's just that these 6 rotters and the big one, they are right by the boat, right in front of you now. And as the rookies are climbing up into the boat. What is Malexia doing? This is a desperate situation, by the way.
I think Malexi is. I'm trying to think of other ways that he can do things other than just basically be a human shield. But be a human shield effectively, like stand him, push the rookies along, and like any of the enemy that comes close, he's going to be, the one. He's going to be like the last man on the beach, basically, like holding the line before while everyone gets away until the last minute.
What role do you think that is?
I mean, I think it's probably another skirmish, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's a desperate situation here.
And
I think, I mean, they're a group and you're one person, so I think you have a limited effect to start with.
Well, can I spend my other anchor to be?
Yeah, you can.
Cool.
So you're at standard effect.
So.
I do have. I'm at 4, right? Can I assist by just like standing behind him and just firing at people who get close?
Cool.
Well,
so you're shooting with your pistol. How does the pistol look, by the way? I'm curious, because this is a pretty rare weapon. People usually have like manually very like antique things, but this is kind of like, I mean, this is a fancy pistol.
Yeah, I have not actually seen a pistol up close, so I'm having trouble coming up with a description. But I feel like this is like a very shiny, well-oiled like gun, I would say. And then the thing is that like he has had this one for like a long time, like 8 years, 10 years. He's just been like working with it for pretty much from when he started. So like this one is like very well worn, and like he just knows all the like nooks and crannies of the thing. And yeah, it's like it's very in contrast with his now non-existent armor, which was very shiny and like I don't have a clue. I don't really get involved with this, but this one is more like you can see signs of heavy usage in this one. So it's not like shiny and pristine and nice like his armor was.
Cool. So you're getting assist there for an extra die. Roll skirmish.
Cool. So it is the group thing has made it risky standard. Is that right? Or desperate standard?
Desperate standard.
Cool. So I can never wrap my head around all of this. So and then +1 bonus dice. 5. Yes. Partial success.
Yeah, you are the shield that lets them get away. But you there you see like this the horror takes this like big like huge hand and like smashes down on you as you're about to like enter the boat, and you take 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay. So that gets rid of 1 of my armor, and then that's that. How does that work? 3 damage. Does it go into my level 3 box,
Yep.
or does my armor get rid of it? I don't understand.
You can get rid of 1 then if you use the 1 armor.
So then that would be a 1 level 2 damage, right? Like
Yes.
1 level 2 box. Okay, cool.
How
Okay.
does it look like when you block something of this with your armor?
I think that what it is that the hand like crushes on it, and it like crushes onto his like wraps around his breastplate, and it's crushing and crushing, and you see the armor like fracture and splinter beneath it. And then maybe one of Ragav's like shots catches it in the eye or something, or makes it like flinch, and it lets go, and Malexi like drops to the ground, and his armor's in pieces, and it's clearly like crushing his body slightly, but it's held long enough to keep him back in the fight, kind of thing.
Cool. So that's the mission. You did succeed in the end, barely.
Yay!
Yeah, and also I think as you like get away from the boat, I think Rakash just pokes you Ragav on the shoulders, like, and holds up like this package thing in like cloth. And it's like, is this? I found this up the stairs. You think this could be useful? And you recognize it as the Gerhold striking spear. And he looks at, you see it like it's ornated with these runes, and it's almost like pulsating. It looks a little strange, don't you think? You probably should show. You should probably show it to Shreya, but this might be dangerous for us normal people to use, don't you think? I shouldn't really be holding this now, should I?
No. I think you should just wrap it in the cloth that it is in and don't touch it. Maybe just hand it over.
Yeah, and I think he like almost throws it at you.
I hope it doesn't come unwrapped.
No, it doesn't.
Does he need to roll a maneuver? No.
Yes, and you all die. Cool. So you did the mission. You can you get the exceptional asset of the spear. Now it's time to do the secondary mission. See how that goes. That's supply mission. Marshall, you can assemble the engagement rule.
Yeah. So the engagement role is going to be. So I didn't say who I sent out on the supply mission, did I?
No.
There is a squad that is particularly good at the supply missions, so it makes sense to do that. So much to keep track of in Brand of Blades.
Yes, this is the game of logistics.
So, I actually think that is going to be the Grinning Ravens, the backbone of the Legion, and traditionally the most numerous squad. The grunts, basically.
Any specialists?
Well, yeah, I think our sniper, Silver Dancing Wind, and do you have to send specialists? 2 specialists every time?
If not, I think there is something, if you look at the martial sheet, that if you don't, you'll get -1.
Required specialist or equipment. I suppose you could argue that 2 specialists are required minimum for, okay. So I was just wondering, because it'd be like, well, why would you ever send 2 on the secondary mission, right? Because it's just consequences. So I'll send the sniper and this time the medic as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so secondary mission. Do I build it the same way as I would have done the other dice rolls?
Yeah. Supply mission.
Supply mission. The quartermaster spend food to equip the mission? No, I don't think so.
Do you, quartermaster?
It's a bit risky.
They should just eat before they go. That's how.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for it because we still have 1 supply so that we can get more food.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's the last session also, I think.
Yeah, that'll be a problem for whoever picks up the Legion down the line, right? Like, which is well be us. Right. So we'll say we get an extra dice for that. We don't lose 1 for the pressure being higher than 2, I think. Pressure's still fairly low, right?
And then there's the regular one.
Yeah. So everyone's O-Swan to the Legion plus 2. They did not get intel.
Wait, sorry. What does this mission give us? Does it just give us the exceptional asset, or does it like give us intel or anything?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
The supply one gives you an asset plus 1 supply.
I'm fine spending 1 intel though, because we're really low on supply. I mean, whoever comes after will just have to turn this all to food and then eat it that, or how many dice do we have so far? Is it worth spending the
2.
intel?
I think maybe 3 would be good.
Yeah, let's try.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna take that away then from
yeah.
commander.
Thanks, Mikhail.
Oh, 6. 656.
Well.
Ooh, it's a crit! Yay!
I think that's the first time I've rolled a 6 on one of these. Like, what's the fate of the Legion?
Cool. So you critted. On your secondary mission, you succeed at the mission and promote 1 squad member. See
sweet.
Rookie soldier special abilities for details.
So I need to populate the Grinning Ravens, and I need to promote 1 of them to a soldier. Sweet, that's great. I will do that. I will do that later.
Yeah. And you get 1 asset of food. You can. I think it is 6 uses because it's you roll the crit. So you got a lot of food. I think there is like this. The way it works, this goes out is that like they're not only do you scare away the bandit, but you find their base and take them out. And there's a lot of like the supplies that they have taken from Planesword there. So and in the like happiness of being rid of these bandits, they give you some of the things that the bandits have stolen.
Nice.
So you get 6 supplies of food.
So the Legion comes back to Plains with like big damn heroes, basically. You know, we come back holding this holy spear high, and you know, the Doctor destroyed, and then our other squad comes back with wagons of food, handing them out to the civilians and to the Legion, and it's like, yeah, great.
Yeah. You also get 1 + 1 supply.
1 + 1 supply, nice. So where does the exception asset get recorded? Is that on the quartermaster's sheet?
I'm sure there must be. The quartermaster is in control of all the things.
I suppose it would come under material, like you just add it as like an extra thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it?
There's a plus.
Not seeing.
Plus symbol there. You can put. I guess. Well, it doesn't have uses as such. But, yeah, so we can run XP. So everyone who was on the secondary mission, they get 2 XP.
Okay. All the rookies get 2 XP.
Yeah, also our.
Well, the specialists as well, yeah. Oh man, that one's a pain in the ass to do. I have to say, like, go into each individual sheet and add 2 XP for them. Like,
yeah, there's some bookkeeping. So
I mean, I suppose on in a paper game you would just write at the top of the Grinning Raven sheet, give everybody 2 XP when you make it right. But
yeah, but imagine though if you would imagine how many character sheets there would be if it was.
Yeah, this is like. I thought maybe it's only for me, but I can imagine like you have 30 freaking character sheets, like, and then suddenly one of them gets promoted, and then you bring up the 31st one and throw away the 30th one. Like, this is, I think, one of the reasons we're dying out of trees is Forged in the Dark.
Well, that thing is actually definitely like specific for this game though.
Ah, yeah, okay.
There's no 30 playbooks in any other Forged in the Dark game I know.
oh, Silver Dancing Wind gets to level up, and I think so does.
Oh, also.
No, the medic doesn't. I don't think.
And what about us, like the heavy and?
Yeah. So at the end of the mission, if you survived, you get an XP. Also, make sure you have marked for all your desperate rolls.
Yeah, okay, so that's one extra, so one desperate roll and one extra XP for surviving the mission. Okay.
Yeah. Which do you remember which attribute you rolled when it was desperate?
Probably Marshall. I did a lot of Marshall.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark it then there. That was cool. So, and then if you playbook specific XP trigger was used. So, for example, for the heavy, if you help your squad through might and fortitude, you get.
Which I think Melixay just did.
Yep, entirely.
And for the officer, it's if you help your squad through enforcing discipline or strategic planning.
Which I think he did.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with researching the gas, strategic planning very much won the day. Which one do you want to put it in? Prowess or?
I think I'm going to go for. What was the playbook XP for? What was that for?
The playbook XP is for getting an extra ability. You don't have anything in that yet, I think.
Okay, I'm going to go for Prowess. Let's say Prowess.
Mm-hmm.
And the one for surviving the mission, I think that would go to Insights.
Yeah. And then if you use a heritage trait, you get an XP.
So that would be Stoic, like, meh. I don't think I was very Stoic this time.
Yeah, or used, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe not. I don't know. Or if you use Barton traits in general.
No, I don't know what those traits are. And also, what's the stat for Stoic? Does that count? The action, sorry.
It's prowess resist.
I don't think you resisted anything with prowess, so you didn't grit your teeth and sort of power through.
No.
Yeah. I think Melexi did definitely, because he started off with a grazed abdomen, but he was tough, so he ignored any of those penalties from that.
Yeah, also, we need to hear from Valeria, because the playbook trigger from the rookie is the most fun.
Yeah.
So did you help your squad by staying out of the way or surviving despite the odds?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we reorganized it and we stayed there as they solved the problem and actually beaten the mission.
Yeah. put. Cool. Okay, so and then there is if you struggle with issues from your traumas, you get an XP. So the only one who hasn't trauma here is Malexei, who is ruthless.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with that? Well, you muted.
I think he was very ruthless. He just like single-handedly went toward a group of 10 rotters and blah.
Yeah, Will, you muted. Can't hear you.
Well,
You unmute. Can I? No.
So would we have we already done the highest threat of opponent faced?
yeah. So,
No, you have not.
and one thing.
That's 3. You get 3 XP for killing the doctor.
Sweet. And do all of our rookies get this as well? Do I go through the squad or
No.
no? Cool. Just the named characters get this benefit.
Yeah. So the rookies they advance from participating in the secondary missions, basically.
I see. Right.
And
But
Will,
none of them died.
another thing is that did you like we were talking about Melixei showing the trauma of ruthless? I think you were
no.
pretty ruthless, just single-handedly jumping into.
Yeah. I'll take the extra XP for that for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
You have to have some reward for dancing on the edge of.
Yeah. It actually played out better than it did for him last time, to be fair. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And for the squad, really, we didn't lose anybody.
Well,
And,
you did lose 2.
Oh, we lost.
Yeah, 2 of the rookies.
You lost Makit and Islama.
Oh no, we lost Market. No.
Oh, and the 3 XP that you said for killing the doctor, I think I'm going to put them all in.
You're 3 away from.
Let's just put 1 in each.
For if you take 3 of them in prowess or in resolve, you get advance. So if you.
Let's put that all in resolve. Sorry, let's put that all in prowess.
Yeah, that's then you can level up an ability. Which one do you want? Wreck, skirmish, shoot, or maneuver.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for wreck because that's the only one that's 0. And whoever comes out can resist the heck out of prowess.
Yeah. Cool. So, that's the mission, and then let's have let's see. There's the back some bookkeeping here for morale and stuff, because we lost 2 rookies. We suffer -1 morale, so 2 morale in combined. Marshall, are you recording it?
Yep.
And
Minus
also,
2.
Marshall, you can decide 2 more deaths because you didn't do the recon mission.
Okay. We're gonna lose them from the Ember Wolves. They're gonna die.
Yep. Do they have names? You have to have names.
Yeah, they have names. One of them is called Michael Ludovir.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is called Blake Duham. Their names are recorded in the Marshall book.
Cool.
May they be forever free from their oath.
So we suffer in combined -4 morale then.
Okay.
Not good.
Not good, but we gain 2 morale from our missions, correct?
You don't.
No, successful mission. Oh, just that's a reward if the reward is for the.
Yep.
It's the game morale. I see.
So what is our morale now?
Morale is only 5.
So it's medium morale.
Medium morale.
Yeah.
Do we want to party?
We can do that. Would be the next mission's next round's problem.
Okay.
I
That
think
of some.
I think I know. I have a back at camp scene here. So you all come back at camp, and the mood is not as good as it was a few days ago. Only a few days ago. I mean, you gotten supplies, and you got the spear of Geralt's, but you lost 4 rookies. Four people who you know, somebody new, somebody who was in their squad, and there's only 3 squads now that are complete, with 2 dying in both the Star Vipers and was it the Ember Wolves? My Grinning Ravens, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so actually, no, there are only 2 squads because we lost 2. The Grinning Ravens. No, the Grinning Ravens didn't lose anybody. The Grinning Ravens had a completely successful supply mission, and it was only the because so like the deaths from the recon mission, I imagine were like an attack on our camp or something, rather than like the mission out. They didn't have to be people from the mission, right? They could be anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Grinning Ravens and the Shattered Lions are fine. The Grinning Ravens got to have the best mission ever, where they rolled criticals on their fortune roll, and no one died. Everyone came back heroes.
And that, but the incomplete squads means that there will be shifting around, which is never good news. And I think on top of this, like there's no drinking or games in the camp the night you come home. And the morning after there is, and I'll let you play the Legion rolls for this. There is, even though like the people of Plainsworth, they are well on the mission, actually on the mission with the bandits. You brought there are some people who followed you back, who I guess are like the families of the bandits. There's some of them who I guess live there, but now you're taking all the supplies. I mean, the bandits, they're not robbing for fun. They need food, right? And it's a war, so and they follow you back. And there's like this group of 20-25 people, I think, women and children, and I mean there's some men too, but younger men usually, maybe in their teens, that like stand outside the gates, or try to go inside the gates with when the Grinning Ravens come back, and they pledge to like want to come with you, rather than staying in the mountains to die. And the scene is in the tent of the commander, as you discuss what to do. The quartermaster and the marshal is also there. How I think like there's this like this war map there, and is the commander already planning to move on? Is he planning like the route where to go next?
Yeah, I think is this the place where we have 2 choices? We could go through the thing to the south, or we're not there yet.
You.
I don't remember how the
go,
map
yes,
goes.
You can go 2 places here, yeah, to Sunstrider or to the Long Road. So that's probably what like the commander is doing, like planning out that kind of thing. And you see on the map, like these 2 routes, and probably as the marshal and the quartermaster come into the tent, I guess you're probably standing over the map, like considering which way to go.
Yeah.
And I think you both have been discussing it before, so you're now coming to the commander to like get a decision, I guess. What do you do?
So where do you think we should all go?
Well, we carry on like this, we're going to need new men sooner or later. As it stands, I'm going to have to move some men around from the Grinning Ravens to bulk out the Ember Wolves and the rest. A few more missions like that, and we're going to have to say goodbye to one squad for until we get reinforcements. I'm not sure how many we'll find on the long road.
Well, if the battles do not kill them, it will be starvation. I think we need to find enough food to feed the people that we have more than any soldiers.
But I thought we had a lot of food from the mission that the Greening... What's that?
Grinning Ravens.
The Greening Ravens went on?
It's a long path and an even longer road, and we'll be crossing some very bleak land. I'm not sure that we'll be able to reinforce it. So it might be better to be cautious now than to suffer later.
So what do you all say for staying here and hiring some new men and getting some more supplies before we go on the long road? Or we can go to the south where we don't have to go through a really long road.
I reckon we could find anyone. We could find some useful swords over at Sunstrider Camp. The long roads. It's a long roll of the dice in my book.
Indeed.
Okay, then it seems like Sunstrider it is.
And you're not taking the people with you?
I don't know about this lot. We don't have the manpower to look after a bunch of refugees as well.
Well, you said it yourself. We need men. Maybe you can organize them in some sort of militia.
You can
If they can
recruit some of these people. There's definitely like a few that could become.
Okay. Well, I mean, what's the? Isn't that the campaign action? The next round is recruit for the quartermaster. So, okay. I mean,
or is this like a free resource that we get? Like, are we getting free?
No, you have to.
No.
No.
Yeah, and maybe we can also start a long-term project to actually, create some kind of militia within the refugees to protect them.
Yeah, I would. In a broader game, I would say yes, but I would say in the game that we're running now, it's probably better not to start a long-term project just before we hand over to the next quarterly or whatever, right? Like, because I think we already have a start on a long-term clock, which is Steam Tank, which is a long way off.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we really have a clock for that?
I don't think.
Did we even tick anything in that?
We never ticked anything. Okay, that was just Horst's suggestion. But okay, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that we need recruits right now, but it's definitely like one more set of missions, and we're going to need to recruit the next round, or we won't be able to field full squads.
Okay.
We're at we're hitting the ends of our manpower reserve basically, and we're losing. We don't have healthy people to replace the ones who have fallen. So it's either I think what the Marshal says though is that if they can keep up to Sunstrider Camp, then maybe they can join the Legion.
That is fine by me.
All right.
So that would be advancing to Sunstrider.
Cool. So first, before we do that, time passes, and so I'll add another tick to the time clock for you.
Thanks.
And the quartermaster, you use one food to sate the appetite of the troops. If you don't, you take -2 morale.
Don't do it.
also increases by 1. So, Quartermaster, you have campaign actions to spend.
Yeah. So let's not do the project then. Not now. Maybe this time we should do Liberty.
I'm sure Malexei is very pleased with that.
Yeah, so let's do Liberty then. Oh, wait, how many actions we can make? 2? Oh, because the moral changed.
Yeah, advice with the moral, it's only 1 now.
Okay, so it has to be Liberty.
Legionnaires clear all stress. Increase Legion morale by 4. Yeah, so gonna go and clear stress. Yeah, no stress for Malexei. You all were very stressed. And then you can advance. You can roll 1 dice now this time because there is 1 pressure. You wanna roll, Param?
Yeah. 1 dice.
Yeah.
That's a 2.
Yeah. 2.
But it's not our game, so meh.
Poor Legionnaires. That's still just 1 time. So when you advance roll, press or minus horses you spent and add time below. Yes, so you add 1 time. And you move to Sunstride. Cool. So cool. I think that's a good place to end for today. So for people watching, we beg you farewell.